gonna have any chance of getting Baron. Stop them, stop them. This is actually really good for us. Jeez, her movement speed is disgusting. This game's pretty over. Can't really do anything about this. Yeah. Actually, what threw that game is right there is Syndra not helping us with the Baron. So we actually probably lost here. I think. Yeah, we definitely lost here. Okay. So I probably should have just gone for the Mountain Drake instead of going up to Baron. I thought I could get there fast enough before they killed it, but they killed it, and I also didn't have my ultimate, so they saw I didn't have my ultimate. I was like, I was not a threat at all. So I should have just gone to Mountain Drake, and they probably would have backed off knowing I'm not there. And after that, we would have just held out, or at least tried to hold out. So we'll just go on to the next game. I think my screen's frozen. Oh, okay, there we are. Okay, I think my client's frozen. Or it's just being really laggy. On our teammate. Oh, I like that Braum. I think he has some good shot calling. There we go. And if this client were any faster, I could get into another game. Yeah, there were 2 times where we actually could have gotten Baron, but our team wasn't responding to it fast enough. Alright, so we're just gonna hope we get jungle again. Let's see. I just go over the masteries that I never got to. So here, pull up masteries. Then here are vampirism, attack speed, exposed weakness, vampirism for sustain. I went battle trance as well because with the build I'm going, Blood Razor into Frozen Mallet. Like I said, it's not a very bursty build. You're going to be fighting more prolonged fights. You're kind of like just a really strong drain tank in a way, I guess. I don't know. In ways, you're just a tanky fighter, really. But most of your combat is going to be over 3 seconds long with people. So that's just an easy 3% bonus damage. You like never want to take double-edged swords if you're building on someone tanky, because taking more damage as a tank is the complete opposite of what you want. And Bounty Hunter on Shyvana, you're not really an assassin. You're not very guaranteed or even like supposed to get all kinds of kills around the map. You're more of like just team fight oriented ADC or a split pusher. So your job really isn't to go around getting kills and stuff like that, especially because you're power farming. This one, Battering Blows and Piercing Thoughts. These are pretty interchangeable actually because Shyvana is a hybrid fighter. Some people take the Piercing Thoughts for the magic penetration because her damage that she gets from her E, her ultimates and E scalings, and I think her burnout's magic damage with scales with AD. I don't remember. That actually helps a lot with anyone who has MR on them. But it's better, I guess, for tankier people because your percent health is magic damage. And what I took is the AD or the armor penetration, lethality, whatever you want to call it, because that'll more likely help you towards squishier people. since you're already your E, the 2.5% health damage that you do from your E isn't really geared towards squishy people, because 2.5% health from a squishy person, that's not very much health. But if you get that lethality on there, it'll help you with your auto attacks, which is also the other half of your damage coming from that. After that, I take Fervor, obviously, because your Q can proc it twice. Ooh, jungle again, that's nice.
I smell fear.
And then I go 6-6. 6 in the Cunning Tree, 6 in the Resolve Tree. For the Cunning Tree, the one in the middle, I take Savagery to make it easier to power farm. Stuff like that. I don't really need to take the 3% move speed one, the other one, because I'm not really going around the map early trying to like pressure and stuff like that. I'm not like, that's more geared towards like people like Elise, Lee Sin, Evelynn, people like that. I'm power farming, so I want to kill the enemy minions fast. Then I take the Runic Affinity, I believe it's called. That way I get to keep my buffs longer, 15% longer. It's not really that amazing for the blue buff. It's nice for the CDR, that's about it. But the red buff, I like having that red buff longer because that's super helpful to Shyvana, especially before she gets her mallet. I don't take Feast because I have the lifesteal runes and masteries to make up for the sustain, and I don't take Assassin on Shyvana because she's more of a team fight oriented champ. He banned Shiv. Oh my god. I thought I was picking, my bad. Here, I can dodge real quick. Just my masteries. It's just like a 5-minute wait time. That kills me every time. I'm not used to this new ban thing. Yeah, I'm the one dodging this time. Wait, which password is this? I don't remember. I was probably just too busy been talking that I accidentally banned her. Alright, we'll do rank solo. Alright, 5 minutes. That's not bad. Okay, so back to the masteries. Alright, like I said, I take Savagery over Wanderer because I like power farming to get that level 6 fast. Runic Affinity because I don't need the sustain from Secret Stash for my lifesteal runes and masteries. And I don't need Assassin because she's a team fight oriented ADC. That's why her ultimate makes all of her abilities AoE. There's really no reason you should be like... I want to say there isn't a reason, but most of the time you're going to be around other champions. You're not really the one to pick people off unless there's an opportunity to. And then in the Resolve tree over here, I take the bonus armor and magic resist. I like having the extra resistances because Red gave her a pretty shitty passive. It's pretty garbage. I might just be a little bit biased towards minigame passes, but her new passive is pretty garbage. It's like 5%. You get like 5 armor, and if the enemy jungle is just stomping on you, you basically don't have a passive at all. But I get 10% bonus damage to dragons, so she can sell them like she couldn't sell them earlier. But whatever. I'd take this to try and make up for that. I don't really need the health because of, like I said, sustained quints and stuff I have like that. And then Explorer. I have movement speed and brush and... why do I have this? What are these? Tough skins, 2 less damage from champion, and neutral monster basic attacks. That actually sounds pretty good for starting Raft. I don't know why I don't have this. What's the other one? 8 armor and magic resist when near an allied turret. Shyvana's more for engaging, not holding, so I'm not just gonna skip that. I guess movement speed and river would probably just be because of the objectives that are there, like Baron and Drag, you get Scuttle. I'm gonna switch this over to Tough Skin, because that'll help you so much for starting Raptors. I don't know why I had that actually. Huh. Alright, so save that, and then I'll just go over build paths after that. Basically like the build path I said I go Blood Razor first because I think it's a very efficient item for the stats it gives you. I explained it a while ago in Shiv mains. I might have. I like that subreddit. It's nice. But yeah, the build path I go usually is Blood Razor because it's a very efficient items for the stats it gives you. It's like 50% attack speed. It gives you % health damage, which synergizes so well with Shyvana's E and just her auto attacks in general. Because she's a completely auto attack reliant champion. That's basically her entire kit. After that, I go Frozen Mallet. Well, I get my boots after Blood Razor. Usually Merc Treads or Tabbies. Tabbies if they're attack. If they have like a lot of AD champs or they're attack auto attack reliant. And I go Merc Treads if they have like a lot of MR or maybe they have a lot of CC or CC that will kill you. Like for catching out like a Morg Stun or something like that. Lux Stun. Then I go into Frozen Mallet because it gives you AD. I'll explain to go why. Well, Explorer, I know why. The reason I probably took Explorer in the first place was because I can just get around in the river faster and in the bushes whenever I go into counter jungle, stuff like that. But now that was probably I made that a while ago before people switched over to starting Raptors, because Raptors is just more efficient due to like XP. You get more XP starting Raptors than if you were to start a buff because there's more of them. But that was probably my reasoning beforehand, was to make counter jungling easier, to get wards and just warding the enemy jungle. That way I could get Scuttle, Dragon, soloing Dragon easy with that extra move speed. Probably that. But now I'd probably say Tough Skin's better. Okay, we got 20 seconds left, cool. But yeah, I go Frozen Mallet after boots because it gives you AD, which helps a lot because her kit doesn't really give her much AD. Most of her damage comes from her % like health from her E and stuff like that. So AD on Shyvana, because you don't build it, it's still very nice against squishier targets. So it gives you that. It also gives you tankiness from the health you get. And the biggest thing, which is the passive that slows for 40% on melee attacks. That is so helpful for Shyvana because it allows her to get like stickiness to people or to carries that are trying to kite her. You have supports trying to peel for her or him or whatever who they're playing. And at the same time, if you need to peel for your ADC, it also helps your ADC because the person trying to zone your ADC is getting slowed for 40% movement speed every single time you attack them, and the ADC's kiting. Your support's peeling for your ADC. Makes it really easy, comfortable. Watch, I'm not going to get jungle now because of ban Shiv. Or no one's going to press accept. And then after that, I go either, like, usually it's Deadman's. Oh, I got jungle. I usually get, like, Deadman's most of the time because there's a lot of, like, AD champs. Generally, you'll see AD heavy champs over AP heavy champs because it's an easier time pushing down turrets and objectives, more DPS, stuff like that. So I get Deadman's for the movement speed also, to help yourself, so you're slowing them and getting movement speed as you move. It helps you get around the map easier, and then it's just more health and armor for resistances. If I want MR, I either go Spirit Visage or I go Abyssal Mask. I get Adaptive Helm only if they have like a lot of DPS. There. Yeah, I didn't ban Shiv. If they have Adaptive Helm is really strong if they have people like Morgana, Syndra, Or Yana would be decent.